How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with some sweet-ass Star Wars mystery beers. Because that's what we do here, Massive Beer Reviews. Yeah. Fantastical mystery beers. I didn't have that many mystery beers, and then all of a sudden I got ensconced in mystery beers, which is just due to you guys being awesome. This one comes courtesy of Jason, Corny Craft Beer with a K on Instagram. Go check him out. He's all about the Star Wars wrapping on the mystery beers, which I can get down with. I am currently rewatching Star Wars. That's not noteworthy because I've rewatched it like 1,000 times. But I'm forcing my beautiful wife Lisa. I'm not forcing. She wants to. I'm going to make her watch all the Star Wars because she hasn't watched them. So we're going to go through all 11 movies and a bunch of the TV shows. We're going to Mandalorian kind of end off with that one. So I'm kind of excited about that. Anyway, what does this look like? Porter. Porter or like old ass barley wine. The reason why I say porter is because it has this kind of brownish hue kind of on the edges. You can't really see it down here because of the camera and whatnot, but it just comes off as something that's a little bit lighter than a base stout. But it could also be some kind of barley wine. It could even be a sour. But from a distance, I'm getting porter vibes. Let's get a nose. Okay. Well, I think this is a barrel-aged beer. And I think this is... Is this barley wine? Is this barrel-aged barley wine in a can? Because that would not suck. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Yeah, it's almost like a blend. It comes off like a blend between a stout and a barley wine for me. So I'm getting these rich kind of chocolatey, kind of malted notes that come off a little bit more caramelly. I'm getting this big booze component and that follows with a kind of cherry-ish vibe. So I'm getting kind of bourbon on this. I'm not getting much as far as barrel goes. So it could be something just a high ABV kind of barley wine, stout kind of blend. But I'm getting just barley wine. Getting the barley wines, all the barley wines. Yeah. I mean, on the nose, it smells like a bourbon barrel-aged barley wine. Or in a barley wine with a little bit of age on it. Now, it's in a can, so I'm assuming it doesn't have a ton of age on it. But yeah, let's just dive in. Cheers. I'm still sticking on my guns here, saying this is a blend between, of like a barley wine. It's gotta be. It's got to be a blend of something. It could be like barley wine in a Belgian quad or something like that. Barley wine vibes all day. Rich, super sugar daddy vibes on this one. I don't know if it's barrel aged now because it's just that booziness and that sweetness is coming off as just a super high ABV beer. So I don't know if there's a barrel involved in this. Now on a taste. Oh man, back and forth, because there is this kind of almost like Scotch barrel vibe to it too. Like outside of just a normal whiskey, more like a Canadian whiskey or a Scotch whiskey or an Irish whiskey kind of thing, where it has that added kind of Band-Aid kind of phenolic and taste that you get with a lot of those whiskeys. But really, back to the base beer, I'm getting that kind of sugar daddy vibe, but there's an added kind of chocolatey caramelly thing going on that for me could either be a stout, which I'm leaning towards, or like a Belgian kind of double or quad. The reason I'm not leaning towards a Belgian double or quad on this is because there is no kind of like breadiness or Belgian candied sugarness in there. But when you're talking about blends, I can kind of, ooh, this is a hard one, man. I'm so dialed in on it being a blend that I just can't get away from it, because really I could go just, it's a barrel-aged barley wine and be done with it, but there's some sneaking suspicion with how this looks, how this tastes. There has to be a barley wine component involved in it, and there has to be something beyond that. And beyond that, not just in age and not just in barrel. There has to be something beyond it as far as a mixture goes. It's delicious, whatever the fuck it is. Let's put it that way. So let's cut to the chase. I'm not going to fuck around here. I'm going to call this a barley wine, and I want to say quad so much. A barley wine stout blend, aged in whiskey barrels. I'm not going to go bourbon barrels, whiskey barrels. I don't think there's an added adjunct. You told me there was vanilla in this, vanilla bean, something like that. Fine. I'm getting vanilla, but that could be part of the barrel. That could be a couple other things. But I think it's just that. I think it's just a blend of a stout and a barley wine aged in a whiskey barrel. What's the ABV? 14.3. This is a big sucker. So let's dive into this. I love the pull tabs. Jason's got it on lock with the pull tab. So black can so far. Are we talking this is Cycle? Could be Cycle. Or could be somebody else. We'll see what's up. I mean, you're talking about Florida. So many... Coppertail Brewing. Okay. See, now I see Coppertail Brewing. I don't see what the actual beer is. I kind of think maybe it's a quad. 11.6. I see an ABV on this sucker. Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Done and done. God damn it. This says barley wine vibes written all over it for me. There's just this rich kind of sugar daddy component that you really just don't get with stouts all that much. And it's bourbon barrel aged. I thought it was some other kind of whiskey because of the way that spiciness of that whiskey kind of came off. Man, this is really great label too. This is a fantastic beer. I mean, I love Coppertail. It's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite brewery out of Florida. They get decent amount of kind of pub, but I don't think they get the play that they should. It's 11.6%, so I said it was more like 14, so it's 3% off. But it drinks like a big beer. Bourbon barrel aged, and that's pretty much it. They don't really give you much information. Look at that label. It's absolutely killer. Love it. Kind of a... It's not even like a whale tail. It's like a kind of a mastodon or some shit like that, kind of prehistoric times. It's called Sighting. Yeah, I dig that. This is a really tasty beer. And honestly, I'm really kind of blown away that it's actually just a base barrel-aged stout because there's so much barley wine element in this. That's initially what I went to. The color, the look, the additional of those kind of chocolate malts that brings the beer to something beyond... a barley wine, what led me down the path of it being blended, but I'm actually blown away that it's just a base stout. It's delicious, though. I mean, tasty, rich, caramelly, like that sugar daddy vibe. I covet in my barley wines. This is giving it to me in spades. A little bit of heat on the back end, but I'm not too mad at it because it lets you know you're drinking something big. This is probably one of, if not one of the best barrel-aged beers in a can that I've had in quite some time. Let's cut that, Chase. It's one of the better barrel-aged beers in general, can or otherwise. Absolutely fantastic. That heat kind of keeps it out of maybe Mount Rushmore status, but give this another... I don't see a date on here. I don't think they give a shit about dating this kind of beer. But if you gave this a year, I think it would just round out into something absolutely fantastic. But all in all, the way it's drinking right now is fucking awesome. Value and availability... I have no idea what Coppertail does. I mean, this has got to be a pricey beer. You're talking a barrel-aged stout in a can. I'm assuming you're getting up there probably $5 to $8 a can. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like blended barley wine stouts, because that's the vibe I'm getting off this, their titling be damned. I'm calling this a blend. If they don't want to call it that, they just want to call it a base stout, more power to you. But it gives me a lot of those kind of barley wine, barrel-aged stout kind of vibes without letting the barrel get too aggressive, except that little pop of heat in the back end. So you get a nice kind of melange of all those flavors. If you dig those kind of things, this one will do you. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. You want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. MassiveBeers@gmail.com. If you want to jump on a whole mystery beer train, shoot me an email. We'll talk. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little mystery beer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.